Hi, Loner. Hello, E-Tree. Hello, Zach Taft, who I know is there somewhere. So. Hey, Durg. Good morning, Blade to Ball. Hello, Act. Hello, I was just admiring the view, Plutonia. What? All right. That's the wrong button. Well, hang on. I was gonna go play the game, but I have to say thank you to Meadfist very much, as always, and I will jot that down to Yakuza Kiwami too.
I understand what you're saying, but these allegations are very serious. I can't just... This is serious. My reputation is at stake. I spoke with the Consort in confidence, and her alone, and she betrayed that confidence. All right. I will look into it for you. In the meantime, do not do anything rash. Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kailyn. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
What would happen if he said insincere query, I wonder?
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Alcor.
The Alcor were just beginning to explore Council's space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Alcor.
Frankly, we Alcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups, though we are always welcoming to outsiders. Our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kailyn? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Alcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
I hate to keep praising this game. Wait, no, I don't. But you know how, like, the first thing they do, so they've introduced us to a bit of the setting and the concepts. We meet multiple Turians, but we're primarily focused around humans for, honestly, the majority of the intro. Then, we turn the corner around here, and it's, I don't know about you guys, but this goes down into level design, too. Because once we leave this, there's literally only two options, left or right, that's it. Now, I tend to lean towards going right first, especially since that looks like the way to go. That's, of course, debatable, and it can work out a way, but either way, you have about a 50% chance to have the first real alien encounter you have with these two, or three, more accurately. And I think this is a deliberate choice, because these are some of the more interesting of the alien races. Don't mistake me. I like the Asari, and I like the Turians. Blah, 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 blah. I like the Solarians. But these two actually are more interesting of an alien race than the other ones, my opinion. And so, we get to go ahead and get a little insight into a slightly more alien culture.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
Two things, by the way. First of all, you note that no matter who you talk to, either the Volus or the... oh my god. Alcor, you always get to talk to both of them. They ensure that each has dialogue in the other's cutscenes. Just to make sure that you get that, even if you decide to only talk to one of them. Second of all, and I don't mean to continue throwing shade at Odina, well, yes I do, but you notice how, despite his perceived rudeness, Din here is still less of a rude dick to us, the player, than Odina was in just the previous cutscene.
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Alcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Now, this is all fascinating, but it also says a little bit, just a little bit, of how the Council operates. Because we've already seen the Council races, although we've actually, if you're paying attention to this from an in-universe perspective, from someone who's never played Mass Effect before, we only recognize one of the three races that was shown for the Council, because we talk about Turian several times during the intro. But we have no idea what a Solarian is, and we have no idea what an Asari is. In fact, we haven't even heard those words yet. So, I bring this up because even with this relative lack of information, we can already start to glean a little bit on how the Council operates. I'm trying to think of the term. There's actually a real-life political ideology that follows this concept. And it boils down to, we try to maintain a degree of superiority over the other states and the other nations in order to ensure a degree of shared sovereignty. Make of that what you will. I'm not saying that's good, bad, or in between. That's best left for Halloween. So, you can see how that particular group is all... again, between these two things we've already seen, that particular group is already maintaining itself as kind of this separate and distinct force and staying on top of the races that exist within Council space. This also helps set the stage for why humans have been upsetting the status quo so much. As we just learned here, and as we'll learn further in the future, several of the races have been around. There's quite a few races, actually. And a lot of them have been a part of Council space and Council politics for years or centuries. But humans have been shoving their way in as hard and as fast as possible, which makes everybody else nervous for obvious reasons. Thank you, Croatia. Very, very, very much. And welcome to the Year Club. Always appreciate you. If you know... oh, there you go. Dragon Age block. I will put that anniversary sub towards the Dragon Age block. Give me 1 second.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulfed smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Now, this is fascinating because I'm not sure if this happened before, during, or after the formation and current structure of the EU. That is to say, the European Union. Not the Star Wars Extended Universe. Really quick, thank you, Umbral Magnus. I have put that towards Epic Mickey. Sitting right over there, actually. I don't remember what it's called. It's like the European Economic Zone, I want to say. I used to know all this stuff by memory, or by heart. But there's the core EU, but then there's like zones of, well, we get to have certain aspects of EU membership without having full EU membership. And one of them is the Economic Free Trade Zone, where they don't have to pay certain types of tariffs, and companies can trade freely amongst all members of the entire EU without all the usual rigmarole. They can treat it as if it's a single nation, right? Is it called the Eurozone? Or is it called the Schengen? I don't remember. That's the whole point. Like I said, there's several layers to the EU. It's actually fascinating if you ever look at it in a Venn diagram. But point being, yeah, I was just saying, I think CGB Grey did a video on this once. That was years ago, though. I don't know how out of date that is at this point. The reason I'm bringing this up is this specific group has trade concessions and economic freedom and stability, but they also have to follow rules of the European Union without actually having a seat in the European Union. So they actually can't decide the rules that they have to follow. They just get some of the benefits of the Union existing. Which, when I say it that way, makes a lot of sense why I bring it up right now. If someone gifted you a sub, then when it was gifted, it was put towards something, Canada begs. So, we see this. We see aspects of this and layers of this. Because most of these races, they just kind of get to be, part of the EU, part of the council space, and some of the benefits of being a part of council space. What was hinted at there for just a second was that Volus specifically have more concessions, more economic freedom, more general prosperity under the council, despite not actually being a member of the council, despite not actually being able to decide on the rules of council space. So if you think about it, that puts Volus in the number 4 slot overall, not counting humans. Humans are just kind of a destabilizing element. It's just interesting to think about, because for all this guy's grumbling, and he certainly has reasons to grumble, the Volus are sitting pretty, and have been for quite a while. Yeah, you could say they have a degree of preferred status. That's a good way to put that, Mike Tomato. Anyways, Volus are fascinating, but I should go.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
Wait. Do you hear that? It's the sound of a BioWare side quest!
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong. And it is the Asari Consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Translation. They were having tons and tons of sex. I want you to picture that now, an Alcor having sex with us. Just picture it. Picture it. There you go. Now that I've destroyed your morning, and he said something he probably shouldn't have.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Disgusted lamentation. I would rather not picture such a grotesque and horrific concept. Please gouge out my eyes now.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Sephiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
Welcome to the Presidium.
So,
Allow me to...
if you've ever heard me talk about AI on any level, you've probably heard me use the phrase VI. Now, the concept of a VI is actually a very old one. In fact, droids in Star Wars actually qualify as VI before they generate sentience. So it goes back to the 70s and 80s, at least as far as I'm aware. Never mind going back to like the old robot stuff from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But point being, the first time I ever heard a phrase or a term that really described the concept well was here in Mass Effect 1, or 2 or 3, or whatever they first mentioned it. VI, Virtual Intelligence. And it was such a good descriptor that I just kind of took the term and have used it ever since to kind of describe the nature of the three general categories of robot sentience. VI, for the record, is in the middle. AI is on top, true sentient sapience. Robot, or simply bot, is on the very bottom. No capacity for intellect really at all. But a VI is kind of in the middle.
Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
What does that mean?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
I'm curious. Oh, wow.
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
I want to know more about Citadel security.
Citadel security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago. As Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Couple interesting points there. First of all, that gives us a little bit of an insight into how long council space has been around as a political entity. Not an exact number, obviously, more like a range. It also reemphasizes what I mentioned earlier about the Volus having the preferred status, because they were the first after the initial 3. And of course, there's the humanity thing, which is just being shoved in our face constantly.
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
Do you agree with their decision?
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Salarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
Why weren't they made a council race?
The Council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They often provide economic aid in times of disaster. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Do you know anything about Specters?
The term Specter is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Specter agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Specters answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally, the Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Salarians, the two dominant species in Citadel space. Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the three Council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
If you caught that, that means the Volus became a member of the Council space before the Turians became part of the actual Council itself. Just interesting to think about.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Well, you typed it wrong, History Maker, but I'll answer you anyways very quickly. Because he's going against Council wishes. Remember, they're above the law, but they're not above the Council. Specters answer to the Council directly.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
You'll also notice that someone in chat actually mentioned this earlier, that the Volus and whoever other races were added, but not actually made Council members. The Turians were made Council members because of their military. Okay, we actually have a map. It's a map. That's what I'm going to describe it as. It's not, I mean, it's a map. Anyways, it is at least labeled, but God, just navigating this thing is such a pain. Hang on. No. There we go. Before we do the rounds, we should probably go ahead and do the main quest. Yeah, it totally is. So yeah, let's just head up to the tower. Which of course we don't. Oh, there we go. Overall, the Turians are definitely stronger than the humans. But, you know, the humans could at least combat the Turians. You know, longer than 5 seconds. Who's this weirdo?
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garris.
Commander Shepard, Garris Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the C-Sec investigation into Saren.
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the Council.
So, funny thing. Brandon Keener doesn't do a lot of voice acting, relatively speaking. And he's usually listed as additional voices, right? Like, he's usually an NPC. Or like a single quest giver, like in Saints Row 2. It's just funny, because he is so good as Garris. In fact, every time I hear him, I cannot help but hear Garris in pretty much whatever he's doing.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Specter. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
My personal favorite other role of his is in Division 2. Which I imagine
Good
nobody...
luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Nobody in chat's ever actually played, so even if I mentioned who it was, you wouldn't know it. But he's in the Division 2.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants. Commander?
Oh, absolutely, Melkor.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
Oh, I would buy the crap out of that castle. I actually like the
Geth
Division.
attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Specter and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard, the one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Specters. He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Specters is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Specters is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
That's an Asari. The blue one. The one with the cowl is a Salarian. The one with the kind of things going down the chin, that's a Turian. That guy's a human, supposedly.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
What's our next step?
As a Specter, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garris, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garris down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The Ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
What's funny, Bill Ratner, who voices Udina, hasn't done a lot of voice acting over the years. He was a big voice actor back in the cartoon era. G.I. Joe, you know, early 80s. Then he just kind of fell off the map for a while. And then he did the Mass Effect. It's interesting, because, yeah, I actually agree that Udina's actor is good. I do not agree that Udina is good, but, you know, oh, this is a lot of stuff.
Tell me about Barla Vaughn.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius, doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Specters. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game, and the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics, doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
I want to know more about the Specters.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Specter shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
What happens when a Specter goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Specter to bring the rogue agent down.
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Specter answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Specters have a lot of power, Shepard.
How do they decide who becomes a Specter?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Specters aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done. Like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still up in the air.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Maybe they'd let us join the Council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the Council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us. I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the Council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests too.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Interestingly enough, what he's describing is an extreme version of the Renegade. Which is why we can choose the options, so would I.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars, it causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions. But only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
It would be nice, Ect. Yeah, Shepard is a brick, as usual. Hang on, let's talk to our one true love while we're here.
So, this is where the Council passes judgment on all us little folk, huh? Ever get the feeling we're in over our heads, Commander?
This is it. The very heart of the Citadel, the pinnacle of galactic power. Kinda makes your head spin if you think about it too much.
Don't worry about it, Karth. Oh, I can't go down. Oh well. I bet you can answer that question for me, Crazy Norse.
That guy's up to something.
What guy?
So
the
if you've
one
been
over by the Keeper.
So if you've been paying attention, we actually have the option to get a grand total of 2 side quests before this point. But the game needs to kind of tutorialize side quests in a way that we can't really avoid. So we have the mandatory cutscene with the Council. Then as we're going down the stairs, we've got the guy here who wasn't here earlier. And the actors actually, who we are forced to have these people in the party at this point. They straight up say, hey, that person's weird. Visual, terrain, and audio indication of, hey, go talk to this person.
What? Oh, no, I wasn't. Never mind. Yes, is there something you want?
Why are you so interested in the Keepers?
Keepers? I've got no interest in the keep.
Don't get coy. I know what I saw.
I'm not so sure I should be talking to you about this.
We're just talking. Is there something wrong with that?
No. I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm using a small scanner to gather readings on the Keepers. So far I've had mixed results. I find it difficult to get near the creatures.
Why were you being so secretive about it, though?
Well, technically we're not supposed to disturb the Keepers. I don't really think my scanning disturbs them, but the authorities might disagree. I'd like to do it more openly, but it's not really worth getting arrested over.
I could help you out. I'm not worried about the authorities.
I don't even know who you are.
I'm Commander Shepard, with the Alliance military.
Well, I suppose I could use the help. You'll need this. It's the scanning device I developed. Activate it each time you see a Keeper. All collected data will automatically upload to my database. I'll even send a few credits your way for each unique scan.
What are you doing with the data once you've scanned it?
Trying to learn whatever I can about the Keepers. We see them working everywhere, yet we know so little about them. I'm a scientist. I want to know what makes them tick.
I should get going then.
Yes, I have much work myself. So long, and good luck with the scanning.
I was just curious of something, don't mind me.
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, Keepers are adorable. Look at them. Look at their soft, scintillating shells. Alright, sorry, I was distracted. Where was I?
No, I haven't spoken to him before. This is the first time I've requested an audience. Yeah, I'll wait. Doesn't seem like I have much choice.
Okay, looks like that's done. Alright, so... This is like in Dragon Age, you kind of have to run back and forth a couple of times in a couple of areas to get all the dialogue. Also, borrowing from KOTOR, they continue to have the trend of random NPCs just kind of walking around to add some set dressing. How well it succeeds, we'll decide as we go, but I do appreciate it because I can literally picture this room right here with no NPCs in them whatsoever, and it would look pretty weird. Like, it would actually look wrong, you know?
I can't believe the Council ignored all the evidence against Saren.
Saren's one of their best operatives. It's only natural they take his word over ours.
Why are you so quiet?
So now we just chase leads while this smug Turian runs around with his Geth troopers.
That's politics, Chief.
I hate politics. Look at that bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Please do not disturb the Keepers.
Scan, scan, scan. Now we have to talk to the greatest character in the entire series.
Told you before, you're not allowed in here.
This one believes it has the right to move freely through this area.
You're creating a public disturbance. It's against Citadel regulations.
This one is unsure why the other would not wish word of the Enkindlers to be spread.
You'll notice, I hate to keep pointing this out, but Citadel is probably one of the better designed aspects of the entire game. Some of the later areas aren't as well laid out, don't have as good level design, don't have as good structure, but the Citadel, they clearly put a lot of thought and effort into what, where, and how. We drop down, Keeper right in front of us. If we go to the left, they start arguing and talking about this side quest before we even reach them, and of course it's an alien we haven't seen before, which is also specifically designed to be a color that pops out against the background. 3 things indicating that we should talk to these people.
Big place.
There we go.
That hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
Are there laws being broken here?
I am not unreasonable. The hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the hanar gets a permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe. The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war.
Okay, so I know it's not Halloween, but I actually kind of agree with that overall. We don't want you to stop preaching, and we don't want you to stop being religious. That's silly. But what we do want is for you to not let it bleed over into the kind of religious wars that actually absolutely happen. So, yeah, exactly. Time and place. You got your permit, which proves that you've bothered to put the paperwork and time into it. You're not just some crazy hobo off the street. That's called a barrier to entry. And you go here, here, and here. That's the places where not only you can go, but other people can go if they want to hear about it. Boom, boom, done. Like, that makes so much sense to me. I hate to say that, but that makes so much sense to me. Yeah.
If you'd like, I could talk to the hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You are certainly welcome to try.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
Oh yes, by all means, tell me what the Enkindlers are.
Are you allowed to preach here in the Presidium?
The words this unworthy one speaks are merely observations of the truth. The CSEC officer requests that this one purchase an evangelical permit to spread the truth of the Enkindlers.
If that's all the CSEC officer wants, why not just buy the permit?
The truth of the Enkindlers is universal. This one humbly believes that the truth should not be suppressed. Exacting payment as a means of imposing limits upon the truth is an abrogation of this one's religious freedom.
By the way, this hanar is literally making the case for me of why I'm in favor of the aforementioned segregation, or not segregation, the legalization of preaching. I thank you for making my point for me.
So you're breaking the law by preaching without a permit right now?
The CSEC officer states that preaching in this place is forbidden, and preaching anywhere on the Citadel requires a permit. This one humbly submits that it is not preaching to state the truth of the Enkindlers, and thus no permit should be necessary.
You catch the legalese in that sentence? It's a hell of a loophole.
Who are the Enkindlers?
Your people know them as the Protheans. They are the true creators of this one's people. The Enkindlers raised the hanar from ignorance into consciousness by granting this one's people the gift of speech.
Let me talk to the CSEC officer. Perhaps I can explain the situation.
This one would be most grateful for the...
Any progress with that hanar?
Sorry. I'll let you know if I come up with something.
I don't care what the something is, as long as it rids me of the hanar.
Has the CSEC officer been assuaged?
The CSEC officer is just doing his job. You're causing trouble.
This one is too humble to suggest that the CSEC officer is personally biased. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
I can't... Oh, hey! I don't have enough score to do those yet. There is... I cannot tell you how sick I am of that argument, because I hear it all the time nowadays. Just... Wow! Here.
What if I purchase the evangelical permit for you?
Finances are only a partial limitation. This one does not believe that one should pay in order to speak the truth. However, this one also does not possess the 150 credits necessary to purchase the permit.
You don't have 100... You... Thank you, Metroid Hanar. This one is much appreciative of the inclusion of money into ourselves. With this, we shall put it towards the Metroid block.
150 credits? This should cover you. This is a most appreciated action. You are not of the Hanar, but you wish to help spread the truth of the Enkindlers. This one will not cause any further trouble for the CSEC officer. This one offers its thanks.
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Oh my god. Yeah, I still have over 1,000 credits after that, just to give you a bit of perspective.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
Oh yeah, the first time I saw Metroid Hanar in chat, I was like, dude, that name is perfect. By the way, hi Briggs, I haven't seen you in an extraordinarily long time. Honestly surprised you were on the channel again after that gap. Okay, what am I doing next? I can actually do a lot of things in a lot of different orders depending on how I want to go with this. Where are we? We are here. Let's do that. Let's do that. This one thinks that the Hanar were enkindled into their state of being as a form of geometric perfection.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepherd. It is a great honor to welcome the heroes of the Blitz.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
This is a rather minor point, and I've actually already hinted at it. But we're already a seasoned vet. Like, we don't... I know we technically start this game at level 1, but in lore, we're already N7, for God's sakes. And depending on our background, we're literally already a hero. I only mention that because a lot of games tend to do the thing where you start off, you know, at the bottom of the barrel and then crawl your way up to being a god killer. Here it's more like, you know, we start off towards the high end, you know, basically someone who is equivalent of Batman in terms of overall competence and capability. Then we go up from there. Now, what Plutonia brings up is something that drifts in and out of canon, but I prefer the answer, which is yes. So for those of you not aware, in some versions of D&D, and this is more true in 3rd edition than in more modern editions, if you are a peasant or whatever, or if you have an NPC class, you are considered to be lower level than level 1. You know, most townsfolk are just normal folk who don't even have a class level. And that's why there's the distinction between NPC classes and player classes. You know, NPCs and PCs. Anyways, moving on.
I've heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepherd. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. And I do know something about Saren.
I hear your information can be expensive.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune. But these are exceptional circumstances. So I am going to give it to you for free.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business until Saren turned on him.
Saren's turned on a lot of people lately.
I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it. A Krogan mercenary.
That's not much to go on.
I just told you that the most famous Specter in the galaxy betrayed the Shadow Broker. Quite a bargain, considering the price. Speak with the Krogan if you want to learn more. I heard he was paying a visit to Citadel security. If you hurry, you might catch him before he leaves the Academy.
Isn't it strange that a Krogan would want to speak with CSEC?
Very. However, I doubt the visit was entirely his choice. You'll need to speak with him if you want to know more.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic finance is incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Discreet and getting bits from Nova Knight. That's my motto. Thank you, Nova Knight. Very much appreciate, as always. Thank you. And I will put that towards the WoW BC of Rathra.
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a hanar ambassador was petitioning the Council to reduce tariffs on hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
This all makes entirely too much sense, and that's all I'm going to say about this.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
Most people think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very wealthy. But the Shadow Broker is the true master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
Which is, of course, the entire point. It's interesting to note that the Shadow Broker certainly has a fascinating and interesting position within the confines of the intelligence community. It is my opinion that it was never going to last long term. Oh, I know, it's lasted for years, but I mean long term. At some point or another, the balance is... It's the Manon situation all over again. At some point or another, someone's going to push too hard, they're going to push back, and that's going to be the end of the House of Cards. The only way the system maintains itself is if it is self-balancing. It is still fascinating to think about.
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way. The more you know, the more dangerous the game becomes. I don't like danger, Commander. I'll leave that to you.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt the greatest wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single strong community.
Interesting take.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find out in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters. But only the most powerful and influential species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
We will never meet again. Dun, 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 wow, 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 wow. One of the things that I will freely admit I completely missed my first time playing this game was the politics and the implications of being on the upper crust of society in Mass Effect 1. You know, dealing almost entirely with council space, council races, and, you know, so on. Whereas Mass Effect 2 deals with more of the underbelly of things. What I'm not sure about is how much of that was deliberate. At some point or another, we'll have to discuss this. So Mass Effect... Now's a good time. Yeah, let's look at Kaiden's ass really quick. No, come back, Kaiden, no! Yeah, there we go. All right. We've known from multiple sources and multiple interviews and multiple people that Mass Effect was always intended to be a trilogy, unlike Dragon Age Origins. This is one of the reasons why the game is structured the way it is, with substantially less choices and substantially less freedom in what you can do and when you can do it. All that makes sense. Oh yeah, hang on, let's do the... Hooah! There we go. Frozen in place, except for the water. Really quick, thank you to Sail. Always appreciate those subs. Thank you. If you want to put that towards something, do please let me know. But aside from the obvious structure changes that it means for Mass Effect, because okay, fine, Giga, fine. Hang on. Oh, apparently I can't stay zoomed in while alt-tabbed. So that's as good as you're getting, Giga. Now I've lost my train of thought. We do know they intended to have a trilogy from the beginning. What we're not sure about is exactly how much of this was planned out in advance. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything about Mass Effect 2 or 3. That's our usual streaming rules. That's never changed. But based on analysis and observation, I would say that each Mass Effect game, they took the previous story ideas and threw them out the window. No, I mean that. Mass Effect 2 was... Excuse me, let's rewind for a second. Mass Effect 1 was clearly building up to a specific story arc, and then threw that out the window. With Mass Effect 2, which is clearly building towards a specific story arc, which was then thrown out the window for Mass Effect 3. I don't want to compare this to the sequel trilogy, but it is, in all honesty, a fairly similar situation. Constantly changing their minds about who's going to be doing what and where, and it probably doesn't help that the Mass Effects were being made when BioWare was doing its massive upheaval internally. This was when the shift was happening over into BioWare of EA, after all. And this was also when BioWare started to try and branch out into alternate studios and started jumping into substantially more ambitious projects. So... the reason I bring this up is this is absolutely going to be relevant for the review, but ironically, the only game it will not be relevant for is 1, because there's nothing to compare 1 against. Once we move on to 2, I'm not going to talk about that now, Ganas, obviously. But once we move on to 2, we will discuss the external continuity to 1, and once we move on to 3, we'll probably discuss nothing but the external continuity to 1 and 2.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here in my decadent emporium.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
Wow, that stuff is really expensive. Let's do that. There we go. Let's keep it up. All that crap. There we go. Okay. Get a little bit more money going. I wonder if the bug is still in this version. It's not even a bug, really. It's just an oversight. The infinite money one. Oh. Thank you, S.A. Ross. Always appreciate. You know, honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head. It boils down to buying something for X and then selling something for X plus. And that's all I remember. But you do that and you have infinite money, which is important, because then you can get the best gear in the game before leaving the Citadel, which honestly I might do anyways this time around. I haven't decided yet. Firewatch. You got it. Yeah, it certainly smooths out the game's difficulty curve a lot. Okay. That's right. It is right over here. Nah, it's fine, Gigapudding. I'm actually going to deliberately not get the Specter gear this time around. Just to see how the equipment distribution and leveling curve and difficulty curves really are. Now, because Crazy Norse just said that, I've changed my mind. And to be contrarian...
5 times now. 5 times? Why? What do they want?
How should I know? It's not like Keepers offer an explanation for what they're doing.
And yet, everyone just lets them go on doing whatever it is they do.
What choice do we have? If you try to stop them, they just shut down and another one replaces it.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that just sort of the... Yeah, there we go. Listen, Crazy Norse. I've got to be contrarian. It's very important. Actually, I do struggle with that, in all honesty, especially on stream. It's really, really, really common that someone will say, do X, and it always sounds like a command. You know, it always sounds like someone's barking orders at me on stream. And so the automatic knee-jerk reaction is to not do that. It's something I've gotten better about, but it's still something I struggle with 10 years later.
Welcome, I am Naylina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
Commander Shepard, with the Alliance Navy.
Excellent. You should hear something in, 3 or 4 months.
What do you do here, Naylina?
I'm one of the consort's acolytes. Many of the people here today will not see the consort, but they expect to be attended to just the same. It's our job to ensure that they leave contented.
What exactly do you attend to?
Well, each acolyte has her unique abilities. Some soothe with song, others with conversation. As much as possible, we seek to match the needs of our clients to the skills of our acolytes. My specialty is touch. My fingertips can find every tension point in your body and relieve it.
That sounds terrifying, actually.
I'd like to try out your services.
Excellent. I'll add you to our client list. We should be able to see you in 3 or 4 months.
Perfect.
What is the Consort? What does she do?
It's difficult to explain. She's many things to many people, and something different for each. Some seek her for advice, some for entertainment, others still for pleasure. Most of the time, our clients won't realize what they were seeking until after she has provided it for them.
You make her sound like some kind of oracle.
No, not in the usual sense. She's merely a woman with remarkable compassion and a generous spirit. I suggest you make an appointment and see for yourself.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future. We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Nalina.
Yes, Shaira?
Send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with him.
Yes, of course, mistress.
Don't worry, she doesn't have an ass either.
Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting for you.
I see even the humans find the consort irresistible.
This is my first time. I can't believe I didn't come sooner.
Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you.
Things sound so muted.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
Interesting.
The consort is a wonderful person. She has quite...
Hold on. There's no way to fix that, is there? Alright, whatever. They did something when they remastered the audio for this game, and I've noticed it since we started. It's not just muted. They did something with how the audio positioning works, and that's why it sounds muted. The muted is actually a side effect of whatever they did with the positional.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
What exactly do you do?
That depends on your needs. I offer advice to some, comfort to others. I have a certain problem that could use your expertise.
Maybe I can help.
I have a friend, Septimus, a retired Turian general. I won't discuss the details, but he wanted me to be more than I could be. We had a falling out. Now he spends his days in Cora's den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to his sense of honor. Remind him of his position as a general. If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful.
I am not a cat.
Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have many clients waiting to see me.
Actually, what she just did is kind of brilliant from a game design perspective. I don't know if Kay's here. I don't think he is. But hugs, I know this is going to sound strange. Hugs, animation-wise, are really hard to do. Because you have to figure out, like, the specifics of positioning and movement. You have to make sure you don't overclip, but you also don't have to make sure you're not just kind of going out in the air. And there's all kinds of issues, and that's assuming one standardized body type. Yeah, exactly. As Dakota points out, we can have all kinds of different things. So the little is a nice way to just have a hug without actually bothering with all of the hassle and difficulty of a hug, which would probably look like crap.
I have to admit I'm a little nervous.
That's understandable. Many are a little unsure what to expect their first...
Don't get me wrong. I've only heard good things about the consort. It's just...
The unknown forces us out of our comfort zone. It forces us to be vulnerable.
Exactly. That's just what I was thinking.
Good. Then we are ready to begin.
Yeah, exactly, Zedslayer. It's something I complained about mightily during the FF14 run, even though I understand why they do that. Because you can play anything from a Lalafell to a Rogadin, or whatever they're called. I don't think I have access to that yet. I do like the fast travel system. It's actually funny because you can fast travel between places that are practically right next to each other. But it's still an option, and I still like it. What, doodad design? Come on, game. There we go.
That's him.
Oh my god, it's an assassin! Da-da-da-da! Whoop, whoop. This. Do-ah! Do-ah! Do-do! Do-do!
Those were Saren's men. Perimeter clear.
Gotta make sure.
Perimeter secure.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, so I've actually played this game and the second game on hardest difficulty. That fight we just did sucks. Oh my god. I remember the first time. So I go in here, and I knew it was coming, of course, because it was like my second time playing the game. So I'm like, alright, here we go. And they just murdered me. They just absolutely murdered me. And I was like, okay. Wasn't ready for that. So, you know, I'm a little more cautious. Get behind cover and all that. Then they murder me, and I'm like, okay. And I have junk equipment at this point in the game. This is one of the first quests I usually do, as I am doing right now. Yeah, let's get the pistol out. There we go. And then we can swap between pistol and sniper. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Okay, so I'm just going to say this. Okay? I don't care. That outfit is ugly. I don't care. I don't care. It's ugly. It looks terrible.
Sorry, I'll get to you when I can.
Not now. I'm watching the show.
Commander. What do you want?
What's bothering you, General?
I've seen a lot of horrible things in my days, and there's only one woman in this damn galaxy that helps me forget it.
So if you feel that way, then why spread lies about her?
Because she rejected me! Me! Septimus Oraka, General of the Turian fleet!
Is she really worth it? There must be other women.
It's not just any woman I want. It's her, and her alone. Look, kid, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but don't waste your time.
Right, I haven't gotten any points yet.
Enjoy your drink, General.
Yeah, off you go. See you later, kid.
I don't feel right just leaving like this.
Don't waste your time, kid. Run away now, while you still can.
Goodbye, General.
Yeah.
Alright, hold up. Oh god, I don't have anything in Paragon. Look at that. So, those are great at because I am not Paragon or Renegade enough to take that option. You have to have a certain level of Paragon rating or Renegade rating to pick those dialogue options. Probably one of the bigger mistakes with regards to the choice gameplay in Mass Effect 1, in my opinion. Because what this effectively encourages the player to do, in fact, I would almost say mandates the player to do, is you have to run around deliberately picking choices you wouldn't. Let me say that really differently. Deliberately picking choices, whether you would or not, in order to raise the rank high enough in order to pick the dialogue options. And yeah, it also enforces the one-sided view, and it's other issues. There's issues with it. So I do think Especially given that, yeah, as Zalog points out, these are some of the earliest, these are level 1 quests, right? We're running around killing rats right now. We shouldn't need to have raised a certain social stat to go kill rats. And yeah, if you pick metal stuff, you're screwed. Svatoslav is quite correct. That's why I had to rephrase that. Because it's not that you're picking stuff you don't want to, it's you're specifically picking stuff regardless of whether you want to or not. Your choice is actually removed from the equation. So, yeah, definite negative. Gameplay negative, specifically. Probably only one negative, because once we get enough points in there, it'll stop being an issue. But they definitely didn't think about it early on. Actually, I'll tell you exactly what it is, because I didn't find this out for years and years and years and years. Did you know that you can just do the main story quest in the Citadel in probably like 20 minutes, and then leave and go do all the other extra stuff and side stuff and planet stuff, and then come back and do the Citadel quests? I didn't know that for years. Yeah, it's the same on mine too. Hang on.
It's for the best.
There, now it's centered. I've never done that personally. But well, let's go talk to Harkin, since he does happen to be right here.
Alliance military. I could have been a Marine, you know. Instead, I joined the goddamn Citadel security. Biggest mistake of my life.
Harkin, right? I was told you could help me find someone. A Turian CSEC officer named Garris.
Garris? You must be one of Captain Anderson's crew. Poor bastard, still trying to bring Saren down, eh? I know where Garris is, but you gotta tell me something first. Did the captain let you in on his big secret?
Is there something I should know about the captain?
The captain used to be a Specter. Didn't know that, did you? It was all very hush-hush. The first human ever given that honor, and then he blew it. Screwed up his mission so bad they kicked him out. Of course, he blames Saren. Says the Turians set him up.
Why'd they kick him out?
Have to ask him. I never heard any of the details. Bet it's a good story, though. The heroes fall. Classic tragedy.
Just tell me where Garris went.
Garris was sniffing around Dr. Michelle's office. She runs the med clinic on the other side of the wards. Last I heard, he was going back there.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to the guy any more than I have to.
Go. Let me drink in peace.
And no, I haven't read, honestly, most of the Mass Effect.
Tell us he used to be a Specter.
Maybe it's not true. Harkin's an ass. Bet he's just messing with our heads.
You're probably right. Still, I'd like to hear what the captain has to say about all this.
I haven't read most of the Mass Effect books, because the ones I did read were not... Yeah. Anyways, of course, I also don't read in general nowadays. Reading's for nerds! You know, I think you're actually right. Yep, nope, that quest is over. Wow! That's... I'm gonna accept that outcome, just to sort of make my point. I'm just gonna live with that.
I didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garris comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or we'll...
Who are you?
Let her go.
One thing remains consistent about Garris, he's a damn good shot.
Hostile contact!
Lost shields!
Damn. That guy's got a groin of steel, look at that. Oh yeah, wall hugging is off. I don't know how better to put that.
Area secured.
Garris.
Perfect timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
You took him down clean.
Sometimes you get lucky. Dr. Michelle, are you hurt?
No, I'm okay. Thanks to you. All of you.
I know those men threatened you, but if you tell us who they work for, we can protect you.
They work for Fist. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garris about the Quarian.
Does this have anything to do with the investigation into Saren?
I think it might. Dr. Michelle, tell us what happened.
A few days ago, a Quarian came by my office. She'd been shot, but she wouldn't tell me who did it. I could tell she was scared, probably on the run. She asked me about the Shadow Broker. She wanted to trade information in exchange for a safe place to hide.
Where is she now?
I put her in contact with Fist. He's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
Not anymore. Now he works for Saren. And the Shadow Broker isn't too happy about it.
Fist betrayed the Shadow Broker? That's stupid even for him. Saren must have made him quite the offer.
That Quarian must have something Saren wants. Something worth crossing the Shadow Broker to get.
She must have something that proves he's a traitor. Did the Quarian mention anything about Saren or the Geth?
She did. The information she was going to trade. She said it had something to do with the Geth.
She must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There is no way the Council can ignore this.
Is that Liliana?
Time we paid Fist a visit.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you do. I'm coming with you.
You're a Turian. Why do you want to bring him down?
I couldn't find the proof I needed in my investigation, but I knew what was really going on. Saren is a traitor to the Council and a disgrace to my people.
Welcome aboard, Garris.
You know, we aren't the only ones going after Fist. The Shadow Broker hired a Krogan bounty hunter named Wrex to take him out.
Yeah, we heard about him.
A Krogan might come in handy.
Last I heard, he was at the CSEC Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Wrex in for a little talk. If you hurry, you can catch him at the Academy before he leaves.
Move out.
Alright, time to have tons of sex with Garris. I don't know how that works physically, but by golly, we're going to make it work. Alright, so let's get rid of Caden, because nobody likes him. There we go. Let's do it. Alright.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from Fist's thugs, Commander. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
I'm just glad you weren't hurt.
Me too. Now, was there anything you needed?
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice
I'm just saying, I would 100% commit to romancing Garris if it'll let me. This playthrough. Yeah, by the way, fun fact, there are 3 romance options in Mass Effect 1. Caden, Ashley, and Liara. Ah, Delilah. Okay. I know I'd heard her before. And of course, BioWare, cross-pollinates with actors all the time.
Don't kid yourself. It's even bigger than it looks.
How would you know?
I got a tour. One of 500 to see the Ascension from the inside out.
Really?
Took almost 6 hours and we only saw 1/10 of the ship. I even got to meet the commander.
Matriarch Ladanya. You met her?
Well, she addressed everyone on the tour, but I got pretty close to her.
Huh, just look at that ship. You'd have to be stupid to mess with that.
Very true. She's got almost as much firepower as the rest of the Asari fleet combined.
Hopefully, she'll never need to use it.
Dun dun dun! Oh, sorry. What's actually funny is the Ascension's honestly kind of a dumb ship by Mass Effect standards. It's very Asari in its mentality. Let's put all our bundle, all our marbles, all our whatever, eggs into one basket, which is extremely expensive and costly and way too difficult to maintain. And then the end. That is so Asari, if you think about it.
Commander Shepard? Excuse me, Commander Shepard! I'm Emily Wong. I'm an investigative journalist working here on the Citadel.
What are you wearing?
What do you need?
I've been hunting for evidence of corruption and organized crime on the Citadel, but there are places I can't go. I was hoping you might share anything you find during your own investigation. I can make it worth your time.
There's a discoloration in there, and I'm not sure what to make of it.
How do you know that my investigation is going to uncover anything you need?
You wouldn't be investigating if it weren't big. And if it's big, it's something I'd like to hear about.
How do you know I'm investigating anything here on the Citadel?
I'm a good journalist, Commander Shepard. Word gets around.
You've got to have access to better sources. Why contact me?
I'm using every source I can find, but I think I've got a better shot with you. I've read your file. If anyone is going to uncover corruption here, it's the hero of the Skillian Blitz.
Sounds like a good cause. If I find any information, it's yours.
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
If Wong is the one I'm thinking of, I ain't punching her. She's cool. She showed them how humans die. Now that probably sounds like a dig, but it actually really isn't. Yeah, you know what? Good distinction.
Look, I know it was you. I remember your face.
Oh god, this
really,
guy.
That's impressive. Usually you humans can't tell one Turian from another.
This was the place. Now, are you going to give me a refund or not?
Do you have your proof of purchase?
What? No, I don't think you ever gave me one.
I'm sorry then. I can't help you.
But what do you...
Can't help you.
Best place on this ward to buy upgrades.
You're Commander Shepard, the hero of Eden Prime. I am so honored to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Conrad. Conrad Verner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
I spend most of the time trying to stay alive and help the colonists.
Hey, I know you're probably busy, but do you have time for a quick autograph?
Anything for a fan. Here.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. My wife is going to be so impressed. I'll let you get back to work. But next time you're on Earth, I'd love to buy you a drink. Thanks again!
Sorry, I'm looking it up. Because there's this guy named Refund Guy. 15 credits. The refund was for 15 credits. Huh. what is that, like 3 years?
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Yeah, you can actually call him out on that, too, Mr. Blasty. Yeah, 15 credits is not a terribly small amount of money in some settings. In this one, not so much. One second, I need to look something up really quick. Looks like the trick still works. Alright, so I'm just going to demonstrate this literally just for the sake of showing it off. I'm not going to actually do the whole cycle. Wrong. No.
Redeploying.
Damn it. Okay, perfect. I have a... This is going to be really slow. $1.8 billion credits for the Destiny Ascension. You know, honestly, that actually sounds kind of low. Down and then upper right, I believe. Yep, there it is. No, it doesn't rain here particularly often. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, desert, etc.
Yes, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
So I wish to sell this for 105 credits. Damn it. Come on. Why would I ever answer that, Sluckeretta? God, no. Cagey enough about people knowing the fact that I live somewhere within a colossal range of like 7 states. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's up top, isn't he? He's up top. This is one of those processes which works a lot faster if you already have expensive stuff. Obviously, I don't, so I'm just kind of showing it off. Here we go. You.
Hello, Earth Clan. No doubt you've just come
Show me
back.
what you've got.
Most excellent. I am sure you will...
Buy back. And where's the thing I just sold? What did I just... Oh, that. Which I can buy back. Honestly, I'm not happy with that one too, but it's kind of hard to get around the fact that I live in the States. Although someday I might actually not live in the States, so who knows. Okay, so let's do a quick thing. I'm not. They might have actually fixed this. So someone write down 2039 really quick.
Yes, Commander. Is there something I can...
Let me take...
Of course.
Alright, someone stab Melkor Blade really quick. Lorweeks will never come back! Actually, in all honesty, they probably won't. That is a likelihood at this point.
Welcome back, Earth Clan.
What colony?
But it doesn't matter where you hail from.
Show me what you've got.
I have other stuff to do, Sluggeretta. That's it. I think I'm actually losing money on those. It's hard to tell because I'm selling such very low value items. So any increments is in like 20 or 30 credits per iteration.
Of course.
No, never mind. Anyways, that's the process. Sell to her, buy back from him, sell to her, buy back from him, and you just kind of bounce between the two. Why did that not pop up in chat? Very strange. Now, I shot him a couple of times, Vigilant. Thank you, Vigilant, as always. Always appreciate you. I will jot that down for Hitman 3. Alright, so what the hell was I actually doing? Oh, let's see, I did that. Alright, so now we're going to CSEC. I don't remember where that is. We're just going to go here. There it is. Up by... Excuse me. Well, the first thing that would happen, Sluggerot, is they'd all die. All of them. Including Sidious. Because out of the darkness would walk the sister of Takuvma. And she would just look at them and they'd be like... And their heads would explode. Just guts everywhere. It's really gross. Hey, Takari. Thank you very, very much. I will put that towards the Dragon Age block. Thank you. You like elevators, right?
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
I do like that there's a skip option now. I mean, of course I will, Sluggeretta. Although, you didn't really ask a question, so there's not much to answer. Yeah, whatever.
Witnesses saw you making threats in Fist's bar. Stay away from him.
I don't take orders from you.
This is your only warning, Wrex.
You should warn Fist. I will kill him.
You want me to arrest you?
I want you to try.
Go on. Get out of here.
Do I know you, human?
My name's Shepard. I'm going after Fist. Thought you might want to come along.
Shepard. Commander Shepard. I've heard a lot about you. We're both warriors, Shepard. Out of respect, I'll give you a fair warning. I'm going to kill Fist.
Fist knows you're coming. We'll have a better chance if we all work together.
My people have a saying. Seek the enemy of your enemy, and you will find a friend.
I think we're gonna get along just fine, Wrex.
Let's go. I hate to keep Fist waiting.
Well, now we have the ultimate squad here. Just me and the boys. So, yeah, Krogans always look a little bit off in Mass Effect 1, probably because they're really struggling to make that model work when technically it's still sitting on a standard skeleton. Why would I want a spare fist, Sonashi? Someone asked me where on the Paragon to Renegade scale I would rate characters. I decided we should probably do this as we recruit them, and I forgot to do it for Garris earlier. Garris is not actually that renegade. He is definitely a renegade, but he's only like mildly renegade. Like if we're to do it like this and Renegade's over here and Paragon's over here, Garris is like here. Certainly leaning towards renegade, but not an extremist by any respect. By contrast, Wrex, substantially more renegade, which is funny when you think about it. We also then have Ashley. Ashley is a weird one because Ashley is also renegade. She's a little bit less renegade, probably closer to Garrus's thing. But despite being a military brat, she tends to think with the perspective of frontline soldier, which tends to think that the rules matter when the rules matter, and when they don't, they don't. That leads us, of course, to the last character we've met so far, which is Kailyn, who is substantially more Paragon over here. He is far more adherent towards that general mindset, and tends to be far more of a typical soldier, I think what I'm going to call that. And we'll cover others as we go. Alright, so we got Wrex, we got Shepard. What else do we need? Yeah, she is. You're right, Crazy Norse. Feel like... Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, let's do this. Arcano. Let's just beeline it a little bit. We're not going to optimize. We're just going to go with things. I'm kind of doing things in an order I don't normally do, to try and pretend I haven't played this game like 15 times. So... No, we don't have a... So, Mass Effect 1 doesn't have the BioWare staple, which is the token evil party member, which is a thing in most BioWare games. In Mass Effect 2, there actually is a token evil party member, which I will not spoil right now. Mass Effect 3, we'll get there. You can also tell...
Fist knows we're coming.
Oh, that's cool. Check it out. There's the fast transit things. See, the problem is I know the efficient order to do things in Crazy Norse, because there is what I would consider a best path through Mass Effect 1, where you want to do this, and then 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 this. But, I'm trying really hard to just kind of do things as they come and as I see them, to emulate a natural playthrough. It's something I do when it comes to reviewing games like this one. I don't know how well I succeed, but, you know.
Charge him! Shield down!
It's sad how much I keep tapping R. It's okay, I'll need to be able to tap R probably in a couple of days. Come on, game.
Looks like it's shut down.
There we go. I tried to do earlier and kept failing at it. Cover is probably going to be a negative in this game, honestly. Not for cover itself, but for how terribly it's implemented. If you've played this game, you understand what I mean. It is jank, is the nicest way I can put it. It is serious jank. Oh yeah, we gotta look at Garris' ass. Very important. Let our shields regen here a second. Or not. There we go. That took a long time. Jesus. Gotta chew on some gravel. Tasty gravel. Did we get the other guy? Looks like we did. Okay. I will say this. The companions are probably not going to be a negative. Which sounds minor, but honestly, that's better than I thought. I know people have said they've improved companions, but I can tell you right now, they are more accurate, attack more aggressively, and are doing more damage than they did back in the original. All of which I'm in favor of. Hang on, hang on. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, hang on. Garris, hold still, hold still. Just stay there, Garris. Just stay right here. There we go. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, yeah. I can't even get the camera down there. We are on normal Gigapudding for the same reason that I just mentioned with regards to reviewing. So hang on a second. Let me jot down some things here. Oh yeah, photo. What the hell is photo modes button? Listen, if the game let me romance Garris, the inventory management is a negative and a positive. Oh, excuse me. We'll talk about cover. Alright, there's only one thing to do then. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. Alright, let's see here. That is the galaxy's ass right there. Just for you, Giga. Just for you. Sorry, I'm actually typing up some notes here. I'm not just staring at Garris' ass. Alright, how do I leave this mode? There we go. Alright, Garris' ass. I mean, Garris. Look, I just want him for his body, okay?
Stop right there! Don't come any closer!
Warehouse workers. All the real guards must be dead.
Stay back, or we'll shoot.
Oh, hey.
This would be a good time to find somewhere else to work.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I never liked Fist anyway.
I love how casually they're just like, yeah, okay.
Just kill them.
Shooting people isn't always the answer.
Okay, real talk. I think Tali and Garris' relationship, if you allow, it's a choice, if you allow it to develop, is just adorable. Like, I'm so happy for both of them. Game. That was odd, but okay. I'll accept that because it wouldn't let me go into cover. That's strange. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Let's try that again. A little more actually going into cover.
Why do I have to do it myself?
There we go. Jesus, game.
All patched up.
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
Where's the Quarian?
She's not here. I don't know where she is. That's the truth.
He's no use to you now. Let me kill him.
Wait! I don't know where the Quarian is, but I know where you can find her. The Quarian isn't here. Said she'd only deal with the Shadow Broker himself.
Face to face? Impossible. Even I was hired through an agent.
Nobody meets the Shadow Broker. Ever. Even I don't know his true identity. But she didn't know that. I told her I'd set a meeting up. But when she shows up, it'll be Saren's men waiting for her.
Give me the location. Now.
Here on the wards, the back alley by...
I love how we just go back to normal conversation after that.
You can make it if you hurry.
What are you doing?
The Shadow Broker paid me to kill him. I don't leave jobs half done.
A lot of people died because of him. He had it coming. Now let's move. We have to save that Quarian.
I don't know where she is, but I know where you can find her. We might actually fail this one. You love that sound. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's disorienting. By the way, this is the second time I game over when I was doing this section on Insanity. I prefer the... So... At some point, we're going to have to talk about the distinction between ammo versus cooldown. But what it boils down to right now is I don't really have a preference between the two off the top of my head. Okay. Most people have a preference between the two, and you're welcome to share yours, of course.
Did you bring it?
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
No way. The deal's off.
Engineer. Hello? Oh god. Oh god. Okay, that was not what I was expecting to be a thing.
Fist set me up. I knew I couldn't trust him.
Were you hurt in the fight?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help. Who are you?
Your brother. I mean...
My name's Shepard. I'm looking for evidence to prove Saren's a traitor.
Then I have a chance to repay you for saving my life. But not here. We need to go somewhere safe.
We could take her to the human embassy. Your ambassador will want to see this anyway.
You're not making my life easy, Shepard. Firefights in the wards, an all-out assault on Korra's den. Do you know how many... Who's this? A Quarian? What are you up to, Shepard?
This Quarian can help us bring down Saren. I would have told you that if you hadn't jumped down my throat.
I apologize, Commander. This whole thing with Saren has me a bit on edge.
He actually apologized.
Start at the beginning.
He actually apologized.
My name is Tali. Tali Zora Naraya.
We don't see many Quarians here. Why did you leave the flotilla?
I was on my pilgrimage. My rite of passage into adulthood.
I've never heard of this before.
It is a tradition among my people. When we reach maturity, we leave the ships of our parents and our people behind. Alone, we search the stars, only returning to the flotilla once we have discovered something of value. In this way, we prove ourselves worthy of adulthood.
What kinds of things do you look for?
It could be resources like food or fuel, or some type of useful technology, or even knowledge that will make life easier on the flotilla. Through our pilgrimage, we prove that we will contribute to the community, rather than being a burden on our limited resources.
Tell us what you found.
During my travels, I began hearing reports of Geth. Since they drove my people into exile, the Geth have never ventured beyond the Veil. I was curious. I tracked a patrol of Geth to an uncharted world. I waited for one to become separated from its unit. Then I disabled it and removed its memory core.
I thought the Geth fried their memory cores when they died. Some kind of defense mechanism.
How did you manage to preserve the memory core?
My people created the Geth. If you're quick, careful, and lucky, small caches of data can sometimes be saved. Most of the core was wiped clean, but I salvaged something from its audio banks.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
That's Saren's voice. This proves he was involved in the attack.
He said Eden Prime brought him one step closer to finding the conduit. Any idea what that means?
The conduit must have something to do with the beacon. Maybe it's some kind of Prothean technology. Like a weapon.
Wait, there's more. Saren wasn't working alone.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
Roy!
I don't recognize that other voice, the one talking about Reapers.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
According to the memory core, the Reapers were a hyper-advanced machine race that existed 50,000 years ago. The Reapers hunted the Protheans to total extinction, and then they vanished. At least, that's what the Geth believe.
Sounds a little far-fetched.
The vision on Eden Prime. I understand it now. I saw the Protheans being wiped out by the Reapers.
The Geth revere the Reapers as gods, the pinnacle of non-organic life. And they believe Saren knows how to bring the Reapers back.
The Council is just going to love this.
This is a lot to handle. They might just ignore everything we tell them.
No matter what they think about the rest of this, those audio files prove Saren's a traitor.
The Captain's right. We need to present this to the Council right away.
What about her? The Quarian?
My name is Tali. You saw me in the alley, Commander. You know what I can do. Let me come with you.
I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing to give of ourselves for the greater good. What does it say about me if I turn my back on this? Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
No, I won't.
Anderson and I will go ahead to get things ready with the Council. Take a few minutes to collect yourself, then meet us in the tower.
I mean, that is probably the best Udina scene that the entire trilogy has, so... let's see... So what you're saying, Hazardous, is 3 negatives for Mark Mears' performance. Let's see. So let's bring Wrex, because he's amazing. And... Can I bring 3 people? God damn it. Oh, right. Negative. So let me look up what category. We already have case law on this one. Negatives for limited party size. We had a discussion about that during the lore run, and the review of Dragon Age Origins, among a few others. Pretty sure that goes under gameplay, but we'll double check. Oh yeah, how do we start the DLC in this version? Does anybody know? I mean, it's the stuff that's baked in, but... okay. Let's say we haven't even gotten our ship yet, although we're literally a couple of minutes from that now. Looks like it goes under story. I'll type that up in a minute. It's so nice being able to mute myself. You have no idea. Now no one will ever listen to my voice again.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time?
No. I can only say thank you for the sub, Max. Thank you. If you know what you want to put that towards, do please let me know.
Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia. Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
It's no trouble. What can I do for you?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime. I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
There's no reason for your wife's body to be held like this. Just wait here.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosker. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time. I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she deserves.
I mean... how do I, let's see. Oh, I can't, can I? I swear there's a way to swap people on the fly. Does anyone remember how to do that? Oh, yeah. Even better. Ugly as sin. Alright. I swear there's a thing for that. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm probably just remembering a future Mass Effect game. So let's go up to that. And... Yeah, the builds in this game are kind of not. This is not a game that's going to get a plus for build gameplay. In fact, I believe only 3 and Andromeda would get a plus for build gameplay, by memory. I mean, Andromeda does have a surprisingly legit gameplay system for leveling and combat. It's awesome. 3, again, not to spoil too much, but 3 is the first one to truly have a concept of builds, though. Mutually exclusive choices and things you can do to actually design your playstyle. As opposed to 2, where it's, you know, pick your flavor, essentially, and which type of weapon ammo you want on as a buff. Or 1, where you're kind of clocked in by class, and that's kind of it. It's just leveling everything at which rate you want to. So 1 and 2 both have the same problem in that they let you be everything. I say problem. I wouldn't give that a negative, but it's definitely not a positive. But in both cases, it's just pick which order you want what, and that's kind of it. Like I said, 3 is when they start to actually get into the concepts of, okay, I want to be someone who focuses on this, or specializes in this, or whatever. You know, altering playstyle. But again, we'll get more into that later. Let's go ahead and do... Let's assume that's not lying to me and take some points there. Correct, Trithon, although that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and do this. That's 6, right? Oh, that's 5. Yeah, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. Oh, it was so good. I'm so mad that it's gone. So, Sonacy says you're going to look at Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. What multiplayer? There is no multiplayer in the version of Mass Effect 3 that we are playing. I actually don't know if you could play the original Mass Effect 3 multiplayer right now. I don't know. I'm seeing some people in chat say yes, which wouldn't surprise me. Unfortunately, I cannot give a game a negative for something it simply doesn't have. It doesn't work that way. But it does change the review, because Mass Effect 3 will not get positives that it would if it was still having the multiplayer. So, while it doesn't gain negatives, it does lose positives. Are servers expensive? No, despite what Twitch will tell you about how they desperately need that extra money to keep their streaming servers going, that's all a goddamn lie. In fact, hosting has actually gotten cheaper in the last, say, 10 years. Actually, 20 years, but, you know. But point is, the prices and overall cost for server maintenance and upkeep has gone down, not up. It's something that pisses me off when we discuss MMOs, when someone pulls the plug on an MMO, because there's not really a lot of reason to do that in almost every case. Whatever. Do I want to do fitness? This. Let's get at least some regen on him. Energy costs are their own problem, although I don't want to get into polemic stuff, but, well, right now we're having an energy crisis, and probably will for a couple of years. We are very on task to have solved that energy crisis within the next decade or so. But yes, what Sierra Mike says is correct. The analogy I like to use for servers is trucks. Let's say you want to make a business, and it involves having a truck and delivering stuff around town. Very high initial cost, but the maintenance of that truck is relatively low. So, it's the same thing with a server. You dump a ton of money initially, and then it costs virtually nothing to keep it going. Now, you're probably thinking, so EA doesn't want to dump a bunch of money initially for the servers. No, because once again, it's very, very easy to simply rent out other people's servers, especially since VMware has been exploding for the last 15 years at this point, and use them. So you don't even need the initial cost of the servers at this point for something as relatively low tier as Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. If it was something like, say, WoW, then yeah, you would need to make your own servers, because you need your own dedicated spot for that. But this isn't even on the same category as that. Honestly, I'm with Zeiss. I bet you with total certainty that the people who were doing this particular remaster just said, nah, we don't want to bother. And so they didn't. I don't think we're going to go with this. Okay. We're all leveled. Do we have, oh, looks like we don't. Oh, maybe.
Combat hard suits use a dual kinetic barriers. More common. Biotics is a virtual.
That's a good question. I don't actually know, Dark Day, because 3 and Andromeda both did. Andromeda's wasn't as good, which is weird when you think about it. Probably at least partially because of the ridiculous monetization, but that's whatever.
Commander Shepard, I didn't expect to see you here. Did Ambassador Udina send you?
Have we met before?
No, but I know you well enough. I'm Executor Palin, head of CSEC. It's my job to know when someone like you arrives on the Citadel. Was there something you needed, Commander?
Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was monetized, but it wasn't the same type and style as Andromeda. You ever heard that phrase, you can not spend any money and you still get all the stuff? Well, we have to kind of split that into half nowadays, because on the one hand, it's true, like in Mass Effect 3, where you can have a perfectly feasible build and have tons of fun with it without ever paying a single penny into it. And then there's the crap that tends to happen nowadays, where technically you don't have to spend any money on it. You just have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of hours grinding your face into the wall. This was 3, this was Andromeda.
I get the feeling you're not too fond of humans.
No, I just don't trust your kind. Not yet. You humans are eager to take all the power you can get, and you're being given a lot. If the Council wants to make humanity their new favorite pet, that's their business. But I don't have to like it.
What do you know about the Specters?
They're the right hand of the Council, or so they like to be called. More like the underhanded side of the Council.
What do you have against the Specters?
I can't abide any organization that considers itself above the law. Especially when it's left up to each individual Specter to decide when and how to bend the rules.
Tell me about CSEC.
CSEC provides necessary police and security services throughout the Citadel. We're a civilian government agency, though many of our members have had military training. Of course, as the CSEC representative to the Council, I spend most of my time liaising between the two.
Tell me about your investigation into Saren.
Sorry, Commander. I don't make a habit of giving out details about ongoing investigations.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
Yeah. Yeah, there is an unfortunate gradient when it comes to just how bad microtransactions have gotten. We can't just say microtransactions anymore. Like, there's just this whole quagmire of it.
This place seems strange. I wish there were more humans around.
Don't believe the rumors. The Consort would never reveal her secrets.
Of course she wouldn't. She'd be tossed out the nearest airlock if she did.
I suppose. Besides, Nick, the Consort's nothing like the girls back on the colonies. She's...
You don't have to do it with her. You can just talk to her if you want.
Is that all you did, Jazz? Just talk?
I didn't say that.
Ha! I bet you did too.
What do you want? Oh, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Yes. I need to know about your brother!
What can you tell me about the Asari Consort?
Well, she's an Asari who works here as... That is, she helps people with things.
Ha ha ha! You
never been, have you, boy?
No, I never did. I couldn't afford it. It costs half a year's credits just to go in and talk to her.
Jesus.
Can you at least tell me where I can find her?
Sure. She's across the bridge from the embassies.
That's Cam Clark, if you didn't get the joke.
My goodness, you're Commander Shepard. Your activities made for quite a briefing in the Diplomatic Corps. Is there something I can do to assist you?
Yes. A man named Samesh Bhatia is having some trouble claiming his wife's body.
Ah, Mr. Bhatia. A good man in an understandably frustrating position. I wish I could help him. Serviceman Nirali Bhatia died on Eden Prime, as Mr. Bhatia no doubt told you. Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being held.
You're studying her injuries to learn more about Geth weaponry.
The tests we're conducting may lead to better defenses against Geth attacks. Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
So, this is probably one of the better nuanced quests in all of Mass Effect 1, honestly. Because most of the time, if there's a pretty clear good and a pretty clear bad option, or a pretty good better and a pretty good worse option. In this case, this is pretty legit.
How long do you think the research is going to take?
This is a long-term study. I wouldn't expect the bodies to be released for a year or longer.
You've got to have a lot of bodies. Can't you release one?
Very few bodies had this new type of weapon damage, and very few were in good enough condition to study. Beyond that, Commander, we need as many bodies as we can to get a reasonable sample size.
When will this research result in actual new technology?
If we're lucky, we'll actually realize usable technology from this study in a few years.
So, what would you do? And thank you, Testenhauer. I'm glad you're enjoying the tour VODs, or at least I hope you're enjoying the tour VODs. There's a couple of them. And I'll put that towards Thief 1.
I'll tell Samesh. Next time you cut up a dead soldier, at least tell her husband the truth.
That was just the reaction we were hoping to avoid, Commander. But if you think it will help, tell Mr. Bhatia the truth. Perhaps he will understand.
That was a little more aggressive than I was going for, but okay. I think that's actually the first Tor effect thing I've seen in this game. I was gonna say, it's Pro ZDL Oregon. Hello. I'm gonna kill your entire family for fun.
Hello, Commander. Has any progress been made with Mr. Bosker? Will he return my wife's body?
They're running medical studies on Nirali. That's why they won't release the body.
Tests? They're holding my wife's body for tests? My wife served the Alliance faithfully. She gave her life for humanity. And this is how they repay her.
So he's actually upset about that.
Mr. Bhatia, your wife died defending humanity. We still need her help.
What right does the military have to hold her body? She's already given her life.
That's a very complex situation and topic that I will probably never actually discuss and simply avoid like the plague.
If the military had asked your wife to submit to tests to save human lives, what would she have said?
It doesn't matter. She's dead. I just want her to come home. I miss her so much.
But she's dead.
Let them run their tests. Let my wife save lives so that others are spared the loss I feel today. Goodbye. Thank you for finding me answers.
One thing I do like about this quest, by the way, both him and the clerk are reasonable if they lose this particular argument. Neither one of them is really a bad person, and neither one of them really wants to be in this situation. So if you successfully talk down one or the other, they both accept it with a modicum of grace. I'll just tell you right now, if we convince the clerk to release the body, he's like, you know what? I didn't want to do this anyways. I always felt bad about this, so here you go. We'll let this one go. And that's it, right? That quest gets a positive by itself. That's a good damn quest. It's probably one of the better secondary quests in the entire game. Don't get used to that. Most of the secondary quests suck in this game. We'll get there. Look, I love this game, but its secondary quests are not. That was Homecoming, right? Yep. Oh, this frickin' bunkers! Oh my god! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, Kira White Noise is correct. The overwhelming majority of secondary quests in this game would actually qualify as tasks. Just, like, yeah, there's the scan the keepers, obviously, but I'm talking about go to some random planet, go to this bunker that looks like every other bunker in the game, kill all the enemies in it, win. Or, go to this random planet, go to this bunker that looks like all the other bunkers, and then loot a specific item. I mean, you say that as if that's a defense fund suppository. And I love this game, probably more than most people do. But here's a little pro tip. If you're having limited time and limited budget, rather than make something that's crap, don't make something at all. From a managerial perspective, at a certain point you need to understand to cut, right? To cut features, to try and focus on the stuff that really matters. Now, in the interest of fairness, it is obvious that they did spend a fairly large amount of time and effort on the main plot, right? The MSQ of Mass Effect 1. Because that's where all the custom planets are, that's where all the custom levels are, that's where all the actual encounter design is, that's where all the actual enemy design is, etc., right? But on the plus side, every time we go to do a secondary quest, we get to use the Mako. Have you not seen that whole cutscene, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton? And no, we did not, Dr. Butcher. Also, I don't think that's even in this game. I'm going to avoid talking about the Mako until we get there. Because I've been told it's been changed in this version. So we'll see. We'll see. I have been told it's better. I have also been told it's worse. So we'll decide when we get there. I mean, I'll retell the Mako story when we get there. Alright. Actually, where am I right now? Oh yeah, I forgot to do that while I was in Fist's office. Whoops! Let's go do that really quick while we're thinking about it. Yeah, flying around in the hammer was fun, the hammerhead, but it's kind of like driving around on a vehicle made of breadsticks over a giant vat of pizza sauce. Any mistake, and it's like, it's gone, it's gone. I got this. Nope. I mean, it is fun. I actually enjoy the hammerhead. It's just, it's its own thing, you know? And comparing the hammerhead to the Mako is, it's not even apples and oranges. It's apples and, like, crackers. There's no connection between those two things. Oh. Too slow. There's a delay that I don't remember being in this. But yes, we're currently playing the legendary version. Come on, there we go. Yes, that is hacking and how it works. We've got one other mini-game we'll have to look at later if memory serves. But we'll get there. Or I could just smear Omnigel on it. I always love the idea. Yeah, the Towers of Hanoi hack, that's the other thing. I always love the idea that we literally smear Omnigel on stuff. Like, just imagine we've got a giant, like, canister of it. Like, you keep your soup warm in. And you just kind of go... and just smear it all over something. And it's like, there we go. And the door just opens because all the circuitry is being fried by the gel. You just pour it over it. I guess I want to go... Nope, not there. I guess this will do. Oh god, yeah, it's structure gel. Or something slightly less horrifying.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
Yes, it's a new outfit for you.
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got Fist's files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview when my investigation is over?
Exclusive? You talk to me before you talk to anyone else? That would be worth quite a bit, and I'd be very happy to compensate you accordingly. Here you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
God damn it, Shadow Machine. I like Wong, so I'm being nice to her. Now, the other one... Ouch! Alright. So what is an MBT, Gum? Unless it means mobile battle tank, in which case, yes, the Mako is a freaking tank. Of doom, one might even say. You probably haven't seen the last of Conrad. What harm could there be in talking to him if you meet him again? That's interesting. An Abrams? Huh. I don't know, the Mako's... I'm going to defer to someone who has more expertise in that than me. I don't know if I'd compare the Mako to an Abrams. What am I doing? I thought Conrad was going to be there the second time, too. I know we've talked to him. Well, I shouldn't say anything. There's Anderson.
Come on. Udina's presenting the Quarian's evidence to the Council.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Specter status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
Yeah, they changed their mind on that immediately.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who's she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
No comment.
I tried to warn you about Saren, and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Specter. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
A fleet cannot track down one man.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
I love this game to death, but I hate this cutscene. Udina's an idiot, we're an idiot, and the Council are just obstructive for no damn reason. It's just such a shame because I love the Citadel in general. I've been shotgunning positives at the Citadel because it's so awesome. And then we've got the previous Council scene, which sucks, and then this Council scene, which sucks. Thankfully, after this, we'll head out and start doing stuff, and we'll get to see a little bit of an increase in quality, but just, oh my god.
I can take Saren down.
The Commander's right. There is a way to stop Saren that doesn't require fleets or armies.
No! It's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
You don't have to send a fleet into the Traverse, and the Ambassador gets his human Spectre. Everybody's happy.
What also weirds me out is this is portrayed as some big moment.
Step forward.
Well, I'll talk more about it in a second.
It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
Any idea where to find him?
We will forward any relevant files to Ambassador Udina.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the C-Sec Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
Anderson, come with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
Bastard didn't even thank you.
What do you expect from a politician? Come on.
Right behind you, Shepard.
And now we are truly an adventurer. I mean, a player character. Brute Vibes asked an interesting question. Does YouTube pay me? Actually, Brute Vibes asked, does YouTube pay me for watch time? But the answer is no. I don't make so much as one single penny off of YouTube. I effectively never have, and I never will. So feel free to run all those ad blockers, although I have settings which are supposed to block ads in my videos. I say supposed to because sometimes YouTube likes to YouTube it up a little bit. Nope, don't. This button. There we go. Alright, Garris, let's get you a real weapon, shall we? Actually, I think I'm going to stick with that one. Actually, that's already happened, Shadow Machine. That went live a couple weeks ago. Yes, I have completely deactivated monetization on my channel. You want to hear something funny? So I have a setting set up in order to be able to read all my comments on my channel. I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, because it's actually kind of complicated to explain. But let's just say that I have a setup in order to be able to read all the comments on my channel. I almost always do that on my phone. So I hit this button. The moment I pull this up, the first thing it says is, would you like to monetize? Every time. I switch to the other channel, because I have both channels on here. Would you like to monetize? Every time. And the answer is always the same. No. Let's see. At least I have a better assault rifle for you. Not really. It's actually funny, Dr. Winter. I actually mentioned earlier. Do you want to monetize? Okay. Sure. Okay. So, some of you know that just this last weekend my dad was visiting. And as happens, every time he visits, he was trying to convince me to do evil practices in order to make more money. I'm just going to say that as bluntly as I can, because that's what it boils down to. And as always, I said the same thing I always do. No. And I explained it to him like I've explained to him several times before. This is the funny part, though. Check this out. So, on his trip down here, he decided to take a side route rather than go via the highway. Now, this is a mistake because the lights in that particular route are set up really badly. They don't actually have a proper schedule. So, what happens is red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, and there's no real pattern to it like there should be. There should be like a flow of traffic. So, he was constantly irritated driving through there. So I was like, I want you to imagine that you're watching a video, a 4-hour video. And I want you to imagine that roughly every 13 to 17 minutes, someone says, hold up, and plays an ad. Really think about that for a second. It's an average of 15 ads per archived VOD. No. Odd. Do I have a better shotgun for you? No, of course I don't. And it's not like it does it at specific pause points either. It would just be like, da 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 da. Hold up! Did you know? What's something I could do an advert for? I don't really have a lot of... I've just got a bunch of generic stuff around here. Do you need a new tumbler to keep your drinks cold? Buy Tumblevast, the mega... I don't know. What brand are you? I don't know what brand this is. Tumblevast! With our Tumblermatic 5003. This thing will keep things cool for up to 14,000 hours. And if you pour molten lava inside, it won't melt for approximately 3 seconds. Buy Tumblevast today. And then it goes back to the video. Oh yeah, also, ads can vary in length substantially. Which is a whole other thing I don't want to get into right now. So yeah, no, I don't make so much as 1 penny, not 1 cent out of YouTube. If anybody on YouTube likes me enough to support me, that's what Patreon is for. What am I doing? I'm going over here. NF Tumblr. Odd. Yeah, sometimes you can cut an ad off early. Sometimes the ads are not skippable. Usually, like, the 1 minute, 2 minute, or longer ads are skippable. And then you've got the 4-second ads, which are not skippable. And then you've got the 1 minute to 30 seconds to 1 minute ads, which usually are skippable after about 15 seconds. And I'm not even going to bore you with the process that goes into making those things happening. If you support me with bits, you are more than welcome to do that too. I don't encourage that, because the transaction fee for bits is on you instead of me. So you pay more to give me the same amount rather than I get less to pay the same amount. But nevertheless, I do appreciate it. Thank you, Dark Day. Always. And I will go ahead and put that towards dealer's choice. Give me one moment, please. I have actually, there has been times, so I only ever see YouTube ads on my phone because I have all kinds of ad blockers on my computer, right? So there have been times where I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and watch this thing. And an ad pops up, and I look in the lower right, and I see immediately, can't skip. And then I shut off the phone and walk away from it. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who does that. Oh, God, that is delayed. There we go. Just making sure I get that, because it looks like that was in a previous timeline. I don't know what Brave is, Meat Fist. That being said, Safari has a built-in ad blocker, but it's a colossal pain to watch YouTube on Safari. So I try not to. Ah, Seasick. Right, that's where we're going. The irony, you want to hear the really messed up part? I agree with ads as a concept. It's kind of like saying I agree with taxes as a concept, because I do. But then there's, you know, implementation and execution, which is its own thing, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's the abuse of ads, which irritates me. Hell, I agree with DLCs as a concept. Go ahead. I'm ready. Because DLC can, and even has been used to great effect over the years by people who want to put out additional content for a little bit of extra money to get just some more fun with the game, right? Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I tend to make that distinction between DLC and expansions. Used to do that based on quantity, but nowadays it's more about quality. Do I agree with loot boxes as a concept? No. Nothing is good about loot boxes, top to bottom. Where am I? No, God damn it, game! And I appreciate it, Chill Paladin. I really do. Also, I'm just going to be honest, I thought that said Chili Paladin for just a second. Not as a bad thing, because that sounds awesome. No, think about it, right? You're out there like, oh, bam, and just smash down some undead and crush these people and heal this person, and then you whip out this bowl of like amazing chili, and it actually heals you. That's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down. Hang on, I'm gonna write that down. Let's see, healing chili, healing chili. Makes awesome chili, infused with elemental energy, maybe? That heals those who imbibe. Do you think you should buff them too? Oh no, I've got it. it heals regardless, right? But it also... You also can do a chili that does fire damage and then buffs you. So you can either just take the heal, or you can make the really spicy chili, and that one does damage to you instead of healing you, but it gives you a buff. You think I'm making this up? I've got a list of just random game ideas or like concept ideas, which I just write down to make sure I don't forget them. Where am I going? Where am I going? This way, I think. Oath of the Chili. Yeah, the buff is speed and power. I like it. Man, I would kill for some good chili right about now. AKA chili that I make.
Okay, Jalid. Let me get this straight.
Right, we forgot to do this side quest.
Sure, he's threatened you?
You got it, Dante.
Well, no, not exactly. But he wants to meet with me.
Would be awesome if you could just do that.
I think he's going to kill me. And why do you think that? I can't really get into the details. But Shorben will kill me if I leave here unprotected. I can't help you. Not unless you give me something more to go on. I can't. I'm sorry. Then I've got other work to do. But nothing. Don't bother me unless you're willing to give me details.
Actually, I have Sierra Mike. It is surprisingly good. Very simple. We're talking like a couple hours of a quick session, but it's still surprisingly good for what it is.
Hey there! Oh, you're not C-Sec, are you? Did you want something?
Oops, sorry. Let's do this.
What were you trying to explain to the officer before?
My colleague is trying to kill me, and I thought we were friends.
How do you know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't talk to me at work anymore, and he started following me. Yesterday, he followed me all the way home, just waiting for a chance. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
Would you? That's all I want. Someone to talk to him. Tell him to leave me alone. He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is and I'll go find him.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near the markets. He said he just wanted to talk, but I know better. His name's Shorben. He's a Salarian. You shouldn't have any trouble. He's just a scientist.
Shorben. That's the guy who wanted us to scam the Keepers.
The Keepers? Well, even more reason to go after him. That's against regulations.
I better look into this right away. Find out what he's up to.
Anything's possible with Shorben these days. Well, good luck.
He could do anything. You don't even know. You don't even know. Yeah, Garris, he's psychic, okay? When he joined the party, he had a list of... I don't know, dude. Oh, my description skill is too low. Holy crap. Let's see here. Well, I do have Specter training now, which is extremely useful, actually. Oh, I can raise Charm, too. Yeah, let's go ahead and get up to that. Let's do that. Let's commit to that. Garris just walks into a room and he's like, he does that Sherlock Holmes thing where everything kind of goes slow-mo and he just sees the connecting lines between things and it's like, yes, I understand everything. Now let me double check something here. What I thought. Man, I wish I was playing Tor right now, you know? If only. We could. There is content we didn't cover in Tor because it would be insane to do that.
Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you again. Is there something you want?
I want the truth!
You can start by telling me the truth, Shorban.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. My experiments are...
We're not buying it. Jalid told us you've been after him.
You spoke with Jalid? Then you know about the data?
No, but you're gonna tell me. Everything.
You boys can go. Looks like my plans have changed. It's not as bad as you think, Commander. Jalid and I just got a little over our heads.
Keep talking.
The company we work for developed an experimental procedure for use in medical scanners. Jalid and I saw even more potential, so we stole the plans and secretly developed a tool to scan the Keepers. Can you imagine? A tool that can actually get readings from the Keepers?
What's so special about that?
The Keepers are almost impossible to scan, and you can't capture them or get samples. They just self-destruct. After centuries here, we still don't know anything about them. Don't you see? We were the first to scan them, ever. You've seen it yourself, Commander. You know we can do it.
Why are you trying to kill your partner?
I'm not trying to kill him. Jalid's job was to disseminate our initial findings. But he decided to keep the data for himself. Maybe to sell it. I don't know.
I should kill both of you idiots.
We lost our heads. We just couldn't let an opportunity like this pass us by. Commander, if you'll just continue gathering data for me, imagine what we might learn. And you'll stand to make a bit of a profit yourself, remember?
If it'll help further the scientific cause, how can I refuse?
Very good. Maybe if you wouldn't mind speaking with Jalid. The data you're gathering for me is useless if Jalid won't help me analyze it.
I'll go have a chat with him right now.
Thank you. And happy scanning, Commander.
If it makes you feel any better, Mr. Red, you've probably already noticed this, but the lowlands are kind of divided into subsections. So there's like western lowlands, and then there's the middle, and then there's the eastern stuff, which then, of course, goes into the Trollshaws, which is divided into southeast, south, middle, and north. Get used to that, by the way. But yeah, you notice how this tiny little side quest is actually really... God damn, that's the second time that's happened. World building. There's just world building here. Worst character in all of Mass Effect. Kailyn. That's not even a question. Wonky camera, woo! Hey, Jalid, he's gonna murder you. And I'm getting paid for it!
Hello again. Did you have any luck finding Shorban?
I found out you've been lying to me, Jalid.
Lying? Why would I lie to you?
You forgot to mention the data about the Keeper.
He told you? I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I was afraid Shorban would kill me to get the data, so well, I was hoping you'd take care of him.
You wanted me to murder your...
I'm scanning the Keepers for Shorban, but you two need to stop fighting.
You're helping us? But, well, if you say so. Well, if Shorban can forgive and forget, then so can I. I appreciate the help, Commander. I better go get that data analyzed.
You're welcome, you moron. Also, I like Jacob. In Mass Effect 2. Now, let's see. Now that that's dealt with. That's true, Hazardous. Stab! Oh, sorry, Hazardous. I thought you were trying to kill me. In all honesty, I've always weirded out when people say they don't like Jacobin too. Most of the time I can tell why someone doesn't like someone, but Jacob's just kind of chill in 2, you know? I mean, granted, that's it. He doesn't have much characterization. But he's just kind of chill. It's just like, hey, what's up? Let's do things. I'm like, okay. With it. I'm also probably a little biased because I like his mission. A lot. What the hell's a battle sim? That just sounds weird.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster.
I didn't like Vega at first. He grew on me a little bit. I will acquiesce that. Sorry, I'm looking something up because I'm trying to... Okay, apparently Amori is on the list, whatever it is. So, thank you for being a part of the show, Cordoon. I will put that towards Amori. Yeah, we'll see what they do with Caden in 3. For the first time, in my case.
Hey, I know you. You're Shepard, right? I was on Mindwar during the Blitz. Saw you on the vids when you got your medal. You saved the whole colony.
Looks like you have a fan.
I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd meet someone like you in person. My name's Lang, Officer Eddie Lang, Citadel Security. It's an honor to meet you, Commander. What are you doing down here in the wards? Anything I can help you with?
Why'd you join Citadel Security?
I don't know. Seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Maybe it's in my blood. My grandfather was a cop back on Earth. It's kind of what CSEC is. Police for the Citadel. I'm still pretty new at it, but I like it so far. Way more interesting than staying back on Earth. You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens, like those hanar. Wild. Plus, CSEC gets a lot of respect here. We uphold the law. People, even aliens, appreciate that.
2 things about that sentence. First of all, you can respect cops? Second of all, I like that statement. People, even aliens, appreciate that. Now, I don't want to start a thing here, but one of the things that's always amused me is everyone calls out Ashley for being racist. Half of this game's cast are speciest, is what it actually is. Like, literally half. It's probably over half, actually. It's mostly NPCs, but it's all over the place. And it always weirds me out a little bit that nobody ever comments on that. That's all. I just wanted to say that really quick.
How do you like working here on the Citadel?
This place is amazing. I've been here almost a year, and I still haven't seen a tenth of it. The Presidium's just so beautiful. Good place to go and relax. But I really like it here down in the wards. There's always something going on somewhere. Like that new club they just opened a few months ago, Flux. Wicked scene in there, Commander. You should check it out when you have some time.
What do you know about the Specters?
Just the stuff they show in the vids. They always make them out to be super agents on secret missions to save the galaxy. I know it's not really like that, though. Some of the other CSEC guys don't like them too much, figure they shouldn't be able to operate outside the law. But if they were so bad, the Council wouldn't use them, right?
Do you know a CSEC officer named Harkin?
I shouldn't really say too much. He's been on the force a lot longer than me. But I've heard things, you know? Drinking on the job, taking bribes, that kind of thing. Rumors mostly, but they suspended him, so some of it must be true.
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
Of course. Now remember, to keep upholding the law. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to scan this keeper. Listen, I'm only technically breaking the law. I didn't actually disturb the keeper. I just did something that's not supposed to be possible. Okay, actually, where am I at right now? Hang on. Right. Got a little distracted by that. It is against the law to divide by 0.
I'm surprised that you're willing to kill your own, Wrex. Aren't the Krogan just a few generations away from extinction?
You don't get it. For all your talk of honor and pride, the Turians never had to test their principles in a real struggle. Anyone who fights us is either stupid or on Saren's payroll. Killing the latter is business. Killing the former is a favor to the universe.
Actually, probably one of my favorite Wrex quotes of the various elevator things we can do. Let's see, I already gave those positives, right? No, I didn't. Lord. I don't actually know if it is on the list, Mr. Red, but it is a valid thing, so thank you. I will put that towards Dragonflight. Probably.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Specter. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Specter can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Specters.
What happened?
I failed. I couldn't make the cut. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Specter now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Specter. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
I don't even know what to say about that. They really like hammering the tribalism thing in Mass Effect 1. Which... yeah, it's like... it is understandable. It's awful. But it isn't understandable. It's... I can't spoil, but let's just say that even ignoring just, you know, reality, there's a logical reason for there to be this level of tribalism going on.
Yes, Commander?
Talk to me, Keith.
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Specters. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Specter, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Specter involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Specters.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Specter.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Specters. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. But you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside...
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What can you tell me about Noveria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Specters are about the only form of Citadel authority Noveria respects. But they aren't popular.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
I'm in charge here, Presley. I decide if we have non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander, this won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Alcor. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Presley. There is no other landing zone. Who wants to learn about headaches?
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Be around, Karth. Remember, I'm gonna betray you. Dun 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 dun. What amuses me the most about the Mako is how relatively small it is. Don't mistake me. It's a nice little thing, but I mean, look at this thing. How do we even fit in that?
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Specter would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Specter before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Specters make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Specter does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Probably because Commander rolls off the tongue better, especially when followed by Shepard than Captain. Captain Shepard just sounds off.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
We're totally romancing her, by the way.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
I prefer the second one.
What's your story, Wrex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know It makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
I'm ready. I'm ready, Hazardous. I'm braced. It's so pretty. And I can't have children anymore.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tali, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I should go.
See you later.
Kingsfold, I'm sure I missed you completely, but I didn't miss the notification. Thank you very, very much. I do always and ever appreciate muchly. Thank you so much. I have put that down for the LTTP randomizer, a run I am rather looking forward to. Thank you. Hello, Kay. Hello, Evo. to the end of the stream, as usual. Let's see. Who haven't we talked to? We talked to Kailyn, we talked to Garris. I think that's actually everybody. Moment. Now it's time to horrifically murder all the Quarians. Except for Tali, because she's awesome. I guess we could have talked to the vendor. But first we have to talk to the best human in the game.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Volus syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
I need to know more about this Volus syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
But let me just say that the actor really helps sell this. There's a lot of little additional nuances and moments, pause, intonation, and just like a couple of ways he says his lines that really adds a wonderful human element to Joker. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like Joker as a character if not for Seth Green, who is awesome, it's worth noting. Furthermore, I also love the way that he bothers to add that extra oomph of, I need to constantly push myself because of being so far on the back end. This is something that I've seen a lot, actually, in real life, where people who have some form of detriment, doesn't matter what it is, push themselves harder and farther and stronger because they started with a detriment, because they started on the back foot, so to speak. So he really gets that across, and he does something that fiction usually doesn't do correctly, if I might be so bold. Because usually when fiction portrays a character like this, they're irritating. Melora from Deep Space Nine is a perfect example of someone who's irritating in the exact same position that he is in. By contrast, Joker comes across as someone who is prickly, but never actually makes me want to dislike him.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Just, I don't know. I like Joker. I like most of the characters in this game. I guess that's not saying much, but I like Joker. I am only going to like Joker more in the future, I should probably mention. Right. So let's grab this. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are people who don't like happiness and joy, so it's not that hard to think of someone who doesn't like Joker. I'm pretty sure most people who exist wouldn't like having what Joker has going on. Oh, and just to get this out of the way, the SR2 is better than the SR1 in every way. Just saying. Would I romance Joker if I could? No, because I feel like the romance he gets works for him, right? Like it's just such a perfect match, you know. Right, I'm going over here to do this.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Mark 7s, not too shabby. They also cost a few 100,000 credits. Because Specter gear. I mean, SR1 doesn't have a better soundtrack. Mass Effect 1 has a better soundtrack. That has nothing to do with the game, the ship. Excuse me. I think that's a good chop-off point. Yeah, so when we come back, well, actually, hang on. I think there's going to be a dialogue. So rather than that, when we come back from the lunch break, we will go ahead and do a couple of other things, but most importantly, we will go recruit Liara, because I know it's funny, but I'm not going to leave her to starvation and dehydration just because it's funny. So, I'll see you in a bit.